Welcome to this explainer. Okay, we're just going to dive right in today. If you're prepping for an English test, especially something like the PTE, where you actually have to speak out loud into a microphone, you already know that intense, heart-pounding pressure of the ticking clock. Well, today, we're going to completely transform how you handle those high-pressure test situations. We're going to give you a bulletproof strategy to ensure you literally never run out of words again. So, tell me if this sounds familiar. Have you ever felt totally confident in your everyday, normal English conversations, but the exact moment the exam asks you to respond to a situation, your mind just suddenly goes completely blank? Like, you know exactly what you want to say, but the words just totally freeze up. It's this universal, highly stressful pain point for so many people. But the really good news is we have a very clear way out of it. Look, there is a massive gap between what test takers think they have to do and what the exam actually requires from you. Students so often fall into what I call the perfect sentence trap. They expect they need to sound like some Ivy League native speaker using highly advanced, complicated vocabulary. But in reality, the exam simply wants to know, can you communicate appropriately and politely in a real-life situation? That's it. Here is the absolute crucial point you have to remember. A simple, fluent answer will almost always score better than a complicated answer filled with long, awkward pauses. Every single second you spend sitting there in silence, desperately searching your brain for the perfect word, that clock is moving. Simplicity and a smooth delivery are going to beat hesitation and complex grammar every single time. Let's look at Section 1, the 3-step response, which is your everyday communication tool. All right, Step 1, recognize this situation. Just ask yourself quickly, what do they actually want? Is it an apology? A favor? It literally takes a split second to identify the purpose. Step 2, respond directly to that purpose, without any of those long, unnecessary introductions. And finally, Step 3, add one extra sentence. Just that single extra detail makes your response sound wonderfully natural. So it's recognize, respond, and add a detail. Let's look at a quick example. Imagine the test prompt says, your friend invites you to dinner, but you're busy. Now, a panicked student might just blurt out, I am busy. Sorry, right? We've all been there. But this is a weak, super robotic response. It's way too short and entirely lacks the natural flow of human conversation. Now, I want you to contrast that with our 3-step response. Thank you for inviting me. I'd really love to come, but I already have another commitment. Can we meet another day instead? Do you see the huge difference there? We recognized the invite, responded by declining directly but very politely, and then we added that extra detail of meeting another day. It just flows beautifully. Okay, let's try another really common scenario. Your neighbor comes over and says your music is too loud. A panicked, stressed out student might just freeze and say, okay. Does that demonstrate real communication skills? Definitely not. It's just way too brief. So, let's fix it with a brilliantly constructed alternative. I'm really sorry about the noise. I'll turn the music down right away. Thanks for letting me know. Boom. We apologize directly, we add the specific action we're going to take, and we finish on a nice note. Adding these very simple details absolutely proves that you know how to effectively communicate out in the real world. Okay, but what if the test throws you a total curveball? Imagine you get this completely ridiculous situation. Your friend asks if you can look after their pet dinosaur. A lot of test takers just freeze up here because, well, obviously, dinosaurs don't exist. But you can't let an impossible prompt ruin your flow. The computer grading you doesn't care about the logic. It only cares about your English. So honestly, you just lean into it. Listen to this kind of response. Sure, I'd be happy to help. I just hope your dinosaur doesn't eat my sofa. Having a little personality and a sense of humor won't lose you any marks at all, as long as your English is clear and natural. Let's reinforce this with one more funny, unexpected prompt. Can you lend me your spaceship this weekend? When you hear something wild like this, your goal is literally the exact same as if they had just asked to borrow your car. You simply hit them back with an answer like this. I'd love to, but it's currently parked on the moon. Answering a totally silly prompt fluidly like that still demonstrates absolutely excellent communication skills. And honestly, best of all, it proves you're genuinely reacting to the situation rather than just reciting some memorized template. And you know, when you look really closely at these prompts, a broader pattern reveals itself. Asking for help, apologizing, declining an invite, reacting to good news. Almost all exam situations are going to fall into these very predictable patterns. You absolutely do not need hundreds of different complicated answers memorized. You just need a few reliable response styles ready to pull out of your pocket.
But there is a little catch when you're actually delivering these answers. Think of your pacing kind of like driving a car. So many students think that speaking faster automatically means they sound more fluent. But look, driving smoothly at 80 kilometers per hour gets you there perfectly safely. Rushing at 150 kilometers per hour and crashing into a tree? Well, that's what happens when you speak too fast. You stumble, you panic, and you make pronunciation mistakes. Fluency is all about speaking smoothly without pauses, not racing against the clock.
Moving on to Section 2, the ultimate rescue strategy, or basically what to do when all else fails. Let's clearly define what this is. The rescue strategy is a really powerful exam hack used to maintain your speech flow and avoid those super dangerous silences when your mind just draws a total blank. Always remember this. Silence is so much more dangerous to your score than just using simple English. If you freeze, the test assumes you can't speak. But if you use the rescue strategy, you prove you can keep the interaction alive. So, how exactly do we deploy this when the panic starts setting in? It's super simple. 1. Start with a polite sentence just to buy yourself some time. 2. Answer the situation in a highly general way. And 3. Finish positively. You can plug this simple little formula into almost any situation they throw at you. Here is what that strategy looks like in action. Thank you for telling me. I understand the situation. I'll do my best to help. I hope everything goes well. Did you notice what just happened there? We didn't actually solve a specific problem, but we kept the speech flowing completely seamlessly. It sounds polite, it's professional, and most importantly, it fills that dangerous silence with natural-sounding English. And hey, while you are keeping that speech flowing, please avoid the trap of overly complicated vocabulary. Students are always asking me if they should use these big, difficult phrases like, "I sincerely express my profound gratitude." Guys, nobody talks like that in real life. Instead, just simply say, "Thank you very much." Which one sounds more natural to you? The exam rewards effective, real-world communication. Don't overcomplicate things. So let's quickly consolidate our final takeaways here. Identify the purpose quickly, answer directly and politely. Always add that one extra sentence to round it out. Remember to speak smoothly, not fast. Stop chasing perfect grammar, and please never, ever stop speaking just to search for the perfect word. The highest scores are always going to go to clear, confident, and natural communicators, not walking dictionaries. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative challenge. Before your next practice session or your actual test day, can you take 5 everyday situations and answer each one in 20 seconds using the simple 3-step method? Put this into practice, make it an automatic habit, and totally eliminate that blank mind panic for good. Remember, your goal isn't to impress a computer, it's to communicate confidently. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this strategy.